Hi, welcome to the next in a series of videos showing you some of the features in the Adaptable Blotter grouped together. So far we've looked at searching, editing, styling, and this video is going to look at customization. So what are the things you can do in Adaptable Blotter to make your data shape and look the way you want it to do? Well, obviously the most common thing people like to do is to sort, and most grids allow you to sort. So if I click on this column, then it sorts it alphabetically. But what happens when you sort a column? You don't want it to be alphabetical. Let's imagine it's a ratings column, or it's a sector column where an alphabetical sort doesn't make sense. So we allow you to create something called a custom sort, where you can choose how that column will be sorted. So let's say, for instance, for counterparties, you always want to see city first, then you want to see MUFJ, then you want to see RBC, and everything else alphabetical. You can imagine that each person will want to have different sorts. So that's our sort. There we are, counterparty, city, MUFG, RBC. And now you can see here it's automatically done it. I see city, then I see MUFG, then I see RBC, and then everything else then becomes alphabetical. And you can sort as many columns as you want. So you can sort, you can have as many different sorts as you want, and it will all get saved into your layout, as we saw in a previous video. So if I call this layout 3 and then I finish, then if I come back into my layout, not only will it remember the column order, but also remember all my sorts. So that's sorting. What happens if you want to see some information about your data? One of the nicest things we have is the ability to see whatever's been selected. So for instance, I can highlight a whole group of cells and I can immediately see what the sum of all those cells are, or I can see the average, or I can see what the distinct is, the max, the min. In fact, if you want to see all of them, then you can go here and you can see pretty much anything you want, and then you can add your own operations as well. You can also do that at column level. So if I can just basically say select this column, and then that's the sum of the whole column. You can obviously also do that if you're using AG grid through pivoting, but this is a nice way to be able to choose whatever you want. What happens if you want to shape your data? Well, we allow you to do that as well. We're going to look at a very quick example using our calculated column. And what this does is it allows you to create a new column. So I'll call this one, say, double notional. In fact, I've done it before. And what that's going to be is that's going to be the column notional multiplied by 2. So it's called double notional. If I go into my column chooser, you'll see it here. Let me put it next to notional. And then you can see whatever the notional is, the double notional is. So if I make this 500, then the double notional goes up. Obviously you can make it as complicated as you want based on as many different criteria as you want, so you can make the best of any one of as many different columns. And there's a huge Math.js library that we use, so you can really make the expression which that's based on as complicated as you want. What's important to bear in mind is that this column now gets saved with you. So if I was to save this with our double notional, if I come back into our original, you can see the column's not there. When I go into our layout 3, it remembers it, and it obviously it automatically works out in time how it should look. So there are just a couple of the things you can do. You can sort how you want, have as many sort as columns as you want, and you can create your own column at runtime, which takes an expression that you can use to then define your data how you please. As always, thanks for watching, and please get in touch if you have any questions.